Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, November the 3rd, and your exam 3 was due today. By the time you get this video, it will be in my hands for grading. And so I'm going to be starting on those and try to work through them as quickly as possible. I always enjoy this particular exam for a couple of reasons. One is because it allows you to show me your creativity. And what comes in on the dashboards is always fun for me to take a look at. Sometimes I do have to send them back. In the past, I've had some students that just really didn't get the idea of what a dashboard was. But like we do on everything else, I keep sending it back and working with you until you kind of get the idea. And in some cases, I've ended up having to make a phone call to talk to somebody and explain it and show them some pictures on the web and describe it. But that's not very often that happens. So I look forward to the exam 3 a lot, and also the question about the biggest aha moment. That has really been the thing that has driven updates in the course, because it shows me what is really important to you and what you found to be the most helpful. So I know I asked that question earlier in the semester, but I always like to ask it again as we get close to the end. And rather than just asking you for random feedback, I think it's a little bit of a reward to make it one of your exam questions. So I always get some good feedback that drives the revisions in the course. So I look forward to getting that as well in this third exam. Moving forward, next Monday, November the 10th, your Emerging Trends project is due. There's one group Dropbox for each group. So I had one question from a group asking if multiple people needed to submit something, or if it was okay if one person submitted one file and another person submitted another. That's all fine. In fact, I don't know in the group Dropbox if it actually shows me who uploaded the document. And honestly, I've never paid attention. So within the group Dropbox, as long as there's two files, as long as there is a PDF of your mind map, and as long as there is a PDF of your supporting documentation, your outline, your full-blown outline, then that's what I'm looking for in the Dropbox. After this week, you've only got one more project left in here, so way to go. You're down to the last two things. One's a group project. Most of you have already just about completed. And the last is your individual CIO report. So let me talk to you about your CIO project here for just a minute. I want to make sure that I get something out and that you all understand what I'm looking for. This CIO interview is one that I typically get good feedback on. If for no other reason, because it allows you the opportunity to sit down and talk to someone with decision-making authority and kind of get an idea of what's going on, what's brought your company to this point, where your company might be going in regards to IT alignment. So most people really enjoy just the opportunity to have a conversation that otherwise you would not have, either you or your manager have made time to have had this conversation. But now let me tell you what I really key in on this project. If you want to submit your interview, that's fine. But what I really key in on here is this last section. Here is what you submit to me after you complete it. I'm looking for a handful of things here. Your idea of whether your CIO or the person you spoke with has a good handle on the future of technology. Whether explanations made sense. If user input was considered. If not, why not? And then here's the things. If you would feel comfortable working for the company based on your interview, if you had to pick today, if you would still be there 10 years from now. And then also, this last piece is to prepare a simple statement for CIOs that could be the basis for making decisions related to IT. This is not a statement for your CIO. This is a general principle, a guideline for any CIO, but I'm wanting you to use your interview with your CIO and everything you've learned in the class as a guide for how you're going to model or consider or judge IT decisions that you see going on. And here's the purpose of this. This is what the whole class really, to an extent, boils down to. Because this is your chance to come up with a catchphrase or a simple statement that you can hang on to, that maybe 4 or 5 words reminds you of the things that we've talked about in this class. Something that will be easy for you to remember, that even if you tried to forget it, that 10 years from now you're still going to remember your little acronym, and it would still apply to analyzing business decisions related to technology. Mine is the CYB model. That's what makes sense to me. That works for me. I can use that model and apply it to just any decision, not just a technology-related decision, but any decision. I've had students take that and modify it and make some modifications to the CYB. I've had students to take other parts of the class and create statements. What I do not want is a paragraph. I'm wanting something that is short and concise, that is going to stick with you, that is going to remind you of the things that you felt like were the most important, that decision makers over IT should remember, 5 years, 10 years from now. So that is what I want you to really, really focus on. The other part is important. It's interesting. It's good to read. It's good that it's obvious that you did the interview and you're not just making this stuff up, which I don't believe I've ever had anybody do. But the big thing here drives down to this, where you put a lot of thought into basically your way of remembering what was most important from the class. Here's my goal. I got an MBA years ago. Okay, I finished my MBA in 2002, I believe. Might have been 2003. I think it was 2000. It was one of the two. I think I was supposed to graduate in 2002, but I had started the PhD program, and so I had to stretch out a couple of classes from my MBA. And anyway, I got an MBA a long time ago, and I sit back and think sometimes about, what I remember from each class. And honestly, it's not a lot. I'm sure if I started having a conversation with somebody about the content of their specific courses, things would start to come back. But I can't just off the top of my head, recall things from different classes that I had in my MBA 10 years ago. I don't want that to be that way for you regarding my class. So I want you to come up with something. If it's the CYB, if it's a modified CYB, if it's one of the other theories, and you boil it down to an easy to remember acronym or something funny or whatever it is, I want you to remember that from 10 years from now, and I want it to be useful. If you can do that, then this class has been worthwhile. So that's really my goal, and why I push so hard for this statement to be something concise, easy to remember, that's going to remind you of the things that you felt were important in this class, that'll be helpful. So that's my goal for that, and I do send it back, even if it's last minute. If I get a paragraph from somebody, it's coming back, because you just can't have that. That is the pinnacle of the course, is for you to be able to take what we've talked about and to absorb it and to put it into an easy to remember format that is important to you. So that's what I'm going to force you to do for this activity. So I hope that helps you understand what's coming up. I know that going back to our calendar, we are right at the end. We'll be done with this class basically 2 weeks. So I think my grading, I've got till the middle of the following week, the middle of the week of Thanksgiving or so, but I usually get that turned around pretty quick because we have short deadlines. So as we're getting close to the end, I'll just say that I've really enjoyed the semester. I think I've told you that already. I think that your class moving forward is going to be one of the best cohorts that we've seen in the program. I've really been impressed with the level of your work. So keep up the good work. I look forward to your Emerging Trends projects. I look forward to grading your Exam 3 papers, and I'm really looking forward to getting your CIO reports, especially when you get down to your consolidated statement that could drive decision making. So have a great day, a good week, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be glad to do my best to try to help you.